Hello, welcome back to Tenacious Tales and Techniques, where we tackle common household and auto projects. And here lately, I've been working on putting a garden together, and I'm needing to screen some soil. So I'm gonna put together a soil screener today, and I'm always thinking about ways to use recycled products, which you should in your garden. You shouldn't spend a lot of money, just anything you can come up with. Um, from scrap wood and things like that. That's really the best way to garden because then it's just not a lot out of pocket. So this screening thing, I had some screens from these cages that were in a basement of an apartment complex. They were like storage units, and each one had screens to separate them out. They got 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch chicken wire on it. So I saved these because I was like, there's one day I'm going to be able to use these for something. And they have multiple uses actually, but today I'm going to use them to make this soil screener. And I wanted to make it to where I could easily move it and take it apart and put it back together and not have a lot of time in it. So I sat here and I looked around, and if you think about things, you can come up with a solution. It's just don't get rushed and try to think it through. And when you do that, you will most likely always find that the solution to a problem is right in front of you. So I was thinking about taking T-post like these, taking the Bobcat, pushing these in the ground, and then putting the 2x6 or 2x4 on top of the screens, and then hooking that over that. And then I could screen the soil, and then I could just take that, lift that off, and move it. But then I'd have to put these in the ground. So I thought about it a little more and came up with this. I've already got something that's standing up. I just need to attach to it. But really, I don't even have to do that. I just took these 2x and stuck them in between here, so they'll just go in like that. And this one's just about at the right angle, I believe. The other 2x is longer, which would allow me to adjust it, but the other 2x that's that length, it's stuck in the pile of wood and I can't get it out, so I don't want to fight it. So I'm going to try to make it work like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the 2x6 to the top of the widest screen. And I'm going to put that on first, and I'm going to put the 2 side screens on, and then we should be ready to run some dirt if everything works the way I think it does. So let's get to it. Get a few of these screws, bring the screen over. I'm going to bring the screen over closer to it, because it's just going to be heavier as soon as I put this on. We just will have it in place where we want it, closer to it anyway. And I am thinking that we can put it on the top, kind of like that. I think that'll work. If I lay it down, it gets weaker, so I'm not sure if I should do that, but that might be better, actually. I'm going to try laying it down and see if that's not going to work out for us. Sure make it easier to assemble it anyway, so we'll put a few screws in it here. Just about 3 of them. Has anyone out there ever tried to make one of these at home? If you have, let me know how you did it, what you came up with to make it work. Now I got this together. You simply pick this one up. You start to see what this is going to look like. So making something like that should work. Should be about the right angle, I believe. So I'll get the other one here. Put on this side of it. The nice thing about this is when I'm done, it just comes right apart. Easily take it apart and remove it and then bring it back. And that one we'll put about right there. Couple screws in it. Hold it in place. All right. You're doing any gardening where you live at? Leave it in the comments. Let me know where you're at and what you're working on in your garden. There we go. That'll work for that one. We'll put up this last one. This one's a little shorter, but it's still going to work. We're just going to put it a little bit lower, like this. Run a few screws in. Oh, wrong screw. That one's too short. Get the right length here. I'm using 3-inch wood screws on these. Okay, that one will go like that. Then I'll probably take another scrap piece of wood and attach it to the front, put a couple, and then put a board under it to hold this up to the proper height. So this one, this board here, actually I'm going to do it like that, and that's going to support. That's going to give that support. Same way with that one. Put that 2x right under it. I put that 2x right under it so it kind of supports it right in the center here as well. So it looks kind of rude and crude, but I believe it's gonna work. We're gonna soon find out. Okay. I think we're going to try this out. I'm going to put a couple more screws in here shortly. Well, I'm going to put in a couple more items here, and I'm going to screw off this to this so it can't move on us. And then I'm going to bring you back with the Bobcat, some soil in the bucket. We're going to dump it and see how she works. Okay, we're back here. Now I'm getting ready to get into the Bobcat so I can start screening out the soil, and we're going to see how well this works out for us. As you can see here, I got a bucket full of soil, and it's got a bunch of grass clumps in it from when I scraped the ground. But in order to reuse that, we're going to get it sifted through this sifter here now. You'll see. how much of a time saver this is and how well that it works for us. You can see here it starts out what you want to go through, and what you doesn't. And it's a bit of a little slow process, but in the end, you're really excited with what you end up with, because then you'll have some soil that you can use. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to use it. It'd have to sit in a pile for a year until the grass broke down. This way I can get it going and put it in the garden this season. It's quite windy that day, but it didn't hurt things too bad. But you just gotta take your time, go slow, try not to dump it all in at once, and kind of get creative with how you use the equipment, and it works out to your advantage. I've always said that any tool you use is an extension of your hands. So you use this Bobcat enough, it's really amazing how you can just make it do whatever you want it to do. And if you take your time with it and learn it, it's really a piece of equipment that you should have if at all possible in order to get one. I am so pleased with this piece of equipment. I can't tell you, it just saves my back so much, so many times. When you go to do something, if you can get in the Bobcat and run it to use it, it's the best thing ever. I remember when I first got it, I used to forget that I even had it, and I was still doing things the hard way. But I've come to realize that you really want to try to help this machine help you, because that's what it's there for. So you can see the materials running through here, and it does not take long to get a nice pile of refined soil that then I'll be able to take over to the garden, put it in, mix it with some vermiculite and some amendments, and then you're ready to grow some great produce in it. You can see here I try to be careful with it not to break the frames, but scrape down the grass and stuff that's built up. And then I also try to run it again, because you can really keep running it over and over until it doesn't have any more soil to give you. And that's what I try to do with these pile here. I tried to run it through at least twice, if not 3 times, before I say that that's, I feel that's enough, that I can get out of it for now. But yeah, it's really a tool that I love having. And you can see here, the higher up you can get it, the slower you can get it to fall, the more it screens through the soil. And if you look at the pile below, it adds up fast. I can't believe I did the other by hand, and it took so much longer. It probably took 2 hours to do that little bed that I'll show you later in the video, and this takes care of it in like 10 minutes. So this Bobcat is really such an asset. I've got big plans and a lot of things to do with this in the future. Going to do some renovations on some homes here coming up, and this Bobcat is going to be a big part of that. But for now, we're going to work on getting this soil screened so that I can get the proper nutrients from these vegetables I'm going to grow to give me the strength to work on the houses in the future. But you can see there, look at that. Man, just runs right through it and screens it out like no one's business. Another benefit of these Bobcats is how well they work in such a confined space. I mean, there's no way you could have a big old tractor or anything else in here. But these little Bobcats, they can just
get in the most tightest of spaces and work out, and that's another benefit to them.
Pretty good. It's catching everything we don't want and letting through what we do. Let me give you a closer look at what we've got here. You can see there was a bunch of grass in here. This was what was cut off the top of the ground here before I tilled it the other day. This was a pile here, and it's got all the grass and everything in it, and I'm wanting to use it, but I don't want the grass in it. So as you can see here now on the back side of this, in that short amount of time, look at all this good rich soil that make a good starter for the garden. It's all sifted through, so that's excellent. I'm really happy with this. It's a quick setup, and that way it's also going to be a quick tear down when I'm done and I want to move it. And I will keep after this here today and start getting the rest of this soil sifted through so I can finish the garden here. As I've started, I've laid out some rows of stuff in the garden here, and I've also started a bed here. This bed here I made yesterday, and under it I've laid some bags of old chicken feed. They were paper bags. I put that under here so that it'll help stop the weeds, and I screened some of this a couple days before that. Now I screened this by hand. Before I made that, I had those sitting on the ground, and I would dump dirt on top, and I'd take a shovel and go through it. And this took a long time to do what I just did there in a couple minutes. But this soil here, it's all nice and gone through, and then I've added some vermiculite to it as well. I'll be adding some vermiculite to this stuff as well. I've got a lot of vermiculite right over here, and it'll get blended in with this soil here. And about a week or so out before we start planting, so everything's working out pretty good. And I'll give you an update after I get that soil. I'm going to get some of that soil put it in along here so that I can plant some more stuff in the garden here. Alright, I hope this video was helpful, and if you like this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe.